Deanna Chambers with day 39 of 365 days of no alcohol, and today was all about getting real with myself. I did yoga this morning at home, Yoga with Adriene. I told you guys about her. I really love her yoga. And I was in chair pose. I don't know if you guys do yoga, but chair pose can be very challenging, especially for me. I don't know why, and I should probably look it up because every yoga pose is connected to some sort of like emotional or spiritual blockage, for example. So chair pose has always been hard for me in the years I've been doing yoga. And this morning was no different, but I pushed through it and I did it. I did the twists that went with it. And I started getting emotional. I started crying and I'm like, why am I crying? And then I was done with yoga, doing breakfast with my boyfriend. He was making breakfast and I started crying. He's like, what's going on with you? And I was like, honestly, I don't know. And it was really a moment about being honest with myself and getting real. Like, not like, oh, you know, of course, my videos are all about going through the process, being compassionate, being honest. But I also believe on the same token is that there is an opportunity to be really upfront, honest with yourself when you're dealing with self-transformation and self-help. And really working through some of your past pain and issues. And it was an option for me to say, okay, cut the bullshit and what's going on. And it was a matter of me realizing that in that moment where the chair pose was really hard for me, it was like, why is everything so hard in my life? Like, why does it feel like I'm always working and hustling and trying to get where I want to go, and still feeling like I'm not quite there, still feeling like I'm not quite worthy? And that came up for me today in a really real way, and I was very emotional when I was crying, and I just realized that, like, since I was 13, since my parents got a divorce, and I did talk a little bit about that in a previous video. I'm linking that video below if you do want to know more about that experience. Is that I've identified with going to a great college, doing well in school as being part of my worth. And I felt like today I was just like, I'm tired of doing that. Like, I'm exhausted, like wanting to be successful, wanting to build an empire, wanting to be a millionaire, wanting to be, wanting to make it in Hollywood. Like, all these expectations I have of myself, all these huge effing expectations I have are freaking exhausting, and I'm always working really hard. And so when I was in chair pose working really hard to stay in the pose, I realized that, like, I'm always doing this in my life, and like, at what point am I gonna just chill out and keep grinding, keep hustling, keep going after my dreams, of course, but like really having compassion for myself and really cutting the BS stories that no longer serve me. Like, you're only good if you have money. You're only good if you've reached a certain level of success in your career. You're only good if you're married by the time you're 30, which, I'm not 30 yet. I'm getting close. But no, I'm not married. No, I'm not engaged. No, I have not made $1 million yet. No, I've not made it in Hollywood in terms of, I guess, what mainstream society says that is making it. To some degree, you guys have seen my previous videos when I was traveling for work. I do feel like I've made it on some level to the next level, if you will, but not in the context of, oh, I'm on billboards, oh, I'm on shows. And I'm not expecting to do any of that right now either. Like, there is that part of me that is compassionate and that does want to be patient. And there's a part of me that is patient, but there's this other part of me, the 13-year-old version of me, who's like, you gotta do it, you gotta accomplish it, you gotta get all these things so people will like you, so people will think that you're good enough. And it's like, you know what? Fuck that. So yeah, I said it. Fuck that. It's time to get real with myself. It doesn't matter if I have $1 million. It doesn't matter if I've made it in Hollywood. It doesn't matter if I have blemishes on my face, which I'm always covering up with makeup, by the way. When I have like a couple blemishes or a few because I'm on my period and I broke out, like, who cares? And I care all the time. And this morning I just was like, this is not working. This is not working. There's no alcohol. There's nothing to cover it up anymore. And it's challenging, but it was so liberating to just cry it out and say, you know what, Deanna, these things aren't working for you anymore. So what are you gonna do about it? Because it's one thing to be aware, which I'm very aware, and anyone that knows me knows I'm aware, but it's another thing to actually do something about it, to get freaking real and actually do something about it. And I don't feel like on every level that I have 100% committed to fixing this part of myself, or not fixing, that's the wrong word, to changing this aspect of myself that does not serve me or my highest good or fulfilling my purpose or being a light in the world, right? So as long as I continue to lack compassion for myself, hold myself to extreme expectations that cause me stress and anxiety constantly, I will not reach my full potential, at least not in the way that I want. And my boyfriend put it up today. He put it to me straight. He's like, what happens when you have made $5 million and you haven't worked through this. He said, you're gonna be exactly right now where you are crying, the same exact way you are now, just with more money. And I said, yeah, absolutely right. I will be exactly here if I don't deal with this, if I don't shift and reprogram the way that I'm thinking about who I'm supposed to be by now. Because yeah, it's freaking exhausting to be trying so hard to get to all the places I want to go to. Because yeah, it's so hard to constantly be putting myself under so much pressure and not measure up. And I've created that. Nobody else created it. Everyone else sees me, but yet I'm the one who doesn't. And so, you know, that's what today is about, getting real with myself. And if anybody else can resonate with this, you don't have to be in your 20s, you could be in your 30s, you could be in your 40s, you could be in your 50s, you could be restructuring your life, maybe after divorce, you name it. Have you experienced this? Is it something that you experience now? I'd love to have an honest conversation about this because I know I'm not the only one. In fact, I've talked to my friends about this. And I did have a bit of this issue when I first started this series. If you remember in that first week, I was feeling very underaccomplished, and that's not what I feel right now. What I'm feeling right now is that I'm tired of the constraints that I put myself into in order to accomplish those things that I want. And that's what I'm experiencing right now, is that that isn't working anymore because I've accomplished a lot for my age without having famous parents, without having rich parents, without having any of those resources available to me. I've accomplished quite a bit. And for my standards, that needs to be okay. And that's what I'm working through today on day 39. And it's a great lesson to learn. And I really would inspire anyone else going through this to talk about it with somebody, do some healing work, meditation, prayer, whatever works for you, or write a letter to yourself and tell yourself how awesome you are, and write a list of all the things that you've accomplished, because I know that's what I'm going to be doing. And that's what I'm working on doing more often, is not only just writing gratitude lists, because I do that, and I do practice gratitude often, but is the next step of actually acknowledging myself, Deanna Chambers, as someone who is an amazing woman and human being, who is worthy, who is successful, who has accomplished so much, and that I need to acknowledge that, because it doesn't matter what you think about me or my boyfriend or my mom, you know, like, it's great that they love me so much, but it doesn't matter if I don't believe it for myself. So today is about breaking through the bullshit, breaking through all the barriers that I've placed for the things that I need to accomplish, because I've said that if I don't accomplish those things, then I'm not worthy, because that's not working anymore. So that's what today is about, and I would just encourage you, if you're going through anything similar, to deal with it and to not run away from it anymore, because you have to look yourself in the mirror every night and every morning and be okay with who you are and what decisions you've made up to that point. And I'm so thankful for yoga. I'm so thankful for the practice and meditation and being able to have resources that allow me to continue doing this really amazing work on myself. So that's today, guys. And if you're enjoying this series so far, you know the deal. Please like, subscribe, comment. I know that I'm posting this video on a couple different platforms, but it does live on YouTube. So if you're watching this on Facebook, please make sure to head over to YouTube, subscribe, like, share. And also, guys, of social media, and my primary platform is Instagram. So if you are on Instagram, please do follow me there. And I put a little link in the description, as well as a little link right now as well, which you should see. Go on there. I post a lot of cool stories. I post daily, and inspirational quotes, inspirational descriptions for each one of my posts. So hopefully you like it, and we can connect more on that platform as well. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Deanna Chambers. Today was day 39 of 365 days of no alcohol, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.